What's happening with y'all boys, man?
What happening?
What's up, chat? Whoever's in there, who not in there, who ain't there yet. What's up? What's up? What's up, man? You can hear me good, Tim? Oh,
Yeah.
all right, cool. All right, we got a quick little episode for y'all today. But first off, welcome to TKIA. We back again, episode 33. But this is the live stream. So if you want to look at this full video, if you missed some of it, you don't go to our videos, you go to the live section. That's where it's gonna be. So y'all don't get mixed up. We got something chill with me. T Baby is here in spirit. He's still on his break from music, secular music, because we're talking about Bryson and J. Cole. He didn't listen to any of it. But his journey is almost done. But stick with him, stick with us. Continue to like, comment, subscribe. Put us on TikTok. What's
I
up?
want to see. I want to see how you really feel about that Bryson album, cause
Yeah, I got you. We're gonna get into it. So, um, before we do all that, I want to say again, check us out on TikTok. I think it's Know It All Podcast. I think Instagram is Know It All. So this all together, Know It All Podcast YT, which stands for YouTube. Our personal IGs are right here. Tay in the building. What's up, Tay? What's up, Tay?
hey,
Um, y'all should be familiar with Tay or AKA Tay Finesse. She's been here before too as well. But yeah, man, subscribe. There's Terrence right there. There he is, Wrestling Geek. Go ahead and subscribe to Wrestling Geek as well. He's doing numbers over there. Go check it out. Um, episode 33. I think this is gonna be a special one, but it's also gonna be a quick episode too. We got Bryson, self-titled Brysontiller. We're gonna talk about that, and we're also talking about, I guess, J. Cole more, but J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, kinda Paladin. So, and also his album. What was it called? I know it's 12 tracks. What was it called?
delete later.
Oh yeah, might delete later. Yeah. Um,
Nah, you need to delete it now.
Don's drinking crazy. Hold on, hold all the thoughts, man.
I'm just
Don's
talking.
Don's drinking today. We got a limited edition Bel Air Blue. I had to go to Total Wine for this, but it ain't like it's rare. But you got to go to a certain place to get it. I ain't never had it before, so I'm actually trying it right now. It's like a blueberry kind of taste, blueberry sparkling, but it's 12% alcohol in it. So y'all go get it at y'all Total Wine, or just go look it up on Google Safari and see where it is. But don't forget that like button. Yes, No Dog Podcast. That's us right there. Don't forget that like button. That's really important. We got 61 subscribers. We need y'all to get us to 100, and we've been growing, so we've been appreciating it. But enough talking. Let's get into the action. I said it's gonna be a quick video. Brysontiller dropped self-titled Brysontiller. Mind you, self-titled albums are one of the most important things any artist can do because this is supposed to be representation of who you are.
Right.
And I had a concept that I want to do, and I want to further along do for our live videos. I mean, not even live, but just our podcast in general. When we talk about music, I want to start diving into individual songs. I think that it will bring more audiences in, which is why I wanted you to listen to the whole thing. But I know you listened to some of it. But from here on out, that's something I want all of us to do. I just think it would be more intriguing to the music lovers, and maybe we can find out different things we could do for sports and everything else too. But so this is what I want to start with. Before we talk about how good we thought it was, well, we can actually talk about that first because that would make more sense. But before we do all that, how it's gonna work is we're gonna talk about overall how we felt about it, and then we're gonna dive into each individual song. So Tim, the ones that you listen to, I need you to kind of remember 'em and then talk about how you felt about those songs. I'm going to dive into all of these songs, and then that's where we're going to tackle J. Cole and all that after that, because that'll be more of a conversation, like conversation.
Okay, but
So I'm going to start because I have a lot to say. And I have a lot of good things to say. Um, I will admit, Don Tolliver hasn't come out yet. We don't have that new Metro Future yet, which comes out 2 days. Weekend didn't drop yet, so there's a lot of artists that's supposed to drop that hasn't yet. But when me and Roy first listened to this offline, I said it was album of the year. I know. Everybody chill. Okay. Album of the year was a little drastic. I've taken some time to come back down from my high, my metaphorical high, that is. And it's not album of the year right now. Everyone would have to flop for it to just be an album of the year. But this is my favorite R&B album this year. That is what I will say. And that's personally me. Everyone has their own opinions. Music is subjective. I'm gonna tell you why though. Is this album better than Chris Brown's 1111? Oh, well, 1111 came out really technically last year, but he's doing a deluxe too. But if we're talking about male R&B, it's not better than Chris Brown's. But Chris Brown has always given us albums that are like it's Chris Brown. Like, come on, it,
Facts.
this is important. This album is important because you know how many times we've talked about trap soul, trap soul, trap soul, trap soul.
I
And
was just gonna bring that up.
did we talk about the albums after that no one really cares about? Finally, we have an album that most of the masses cares about, and that's why this album is my favorite this year, this far, because Bryson has put his signature back on the R&B game, and he didn't do it by just trying to remake trap soul. He made it with a whole new sound, and bro, I'm telling you, this is a great listen. It's a it's a great listen. I was lost for words when I first heard this album. Um, it's 19 tracks. A few of them are already singles. I think we had Calypso was already a single. Outside came out like 2021, 2022. Anybody in the comments just correct me if I don't know if I'm wrong on that. And I think whatever she wants, the bonus. I think we most of us heard that. I think that's the most recent single. I think I'm not sure, but yeah, man, it's a lovely album. Overall, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. Um, I think what made this one of my favorites, and I kind of already dove into this a little bit, but I want to dive into it more. Sonically, it was just pleasing. And by sonically, for people that don't know what that means, it's just the sounds, the elements, textures of the sounds, everything like all in one. The production is 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 to me on this project. Um, I think he made a name for himself, and he's definitely woke, has awakened everyone. Um, I still like True to Self. I still like the Anniversary. Anniversary wasn't fantastic. True to Self wasn't fantastic. I still like the albums, but this album is the closest we have gotten thus far, at least in Brysontiller career right now, to trap soul. And what I mean by that is not that it sounds like trap soul, but that high that we felt with trap soul. This is the highest we've ever gotten, and that's why I appreciate this album so much. Another reason why I appreciate the album is because he didn't try to give us trap soul like I kind of said before, but I'm gonna dive into it more. He gave us a whole new sound to where he did a lot of things on this album vocally too that he hasn't done before. Not to say that he hasn't had glimpses of it, but to this like overall consistency, he's never done it. And you can tell that there was a lot of Chris Brown influence and in production and in choruses, bridges, everything. Not to say that's a bad thing, like he's copying Chris Brown. I think he did enough to where he could emulate it, but still make it his own, which is important. So this album to me is a 10 out of 10. I'm not. We're gonna go through 1 through 19 later, but I'm gonna let you talk on overall how you feel about the album.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just put the album on, just started listening to it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually liked it. It wasn't bad. Now, album of the year. You let's be honest. You was in the group chat talking about it was album of the year.
Look, but look, I was on the metaphorical high. And I didn't realize that I have so many of some favorite of my artists. I'm a huge fan of Weekend. I wouldn't say he's like a favorite, but I'm a huge fan of him. We still don't know what Metro and them finna give us with the "We Still Trust You." We getting that this week. So
True.
like right now though, bro, that's how I was feeling in that moment. I still think it's a 10 out of 10 album. But album of the year maybe had been a stretch. I'll give you that.
To be honest with you, from what I heard so far, and that was about 6, 7 songs. And then I don't know what I was doing. I just stopped. But I'm gonna listen to the rest of it.
Yeah.
But from what I heard, it was actually solid. Like I actually liked the first, especially the first five, like how it flowed from each song.
Give me a second. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Wrestling Geek, also known as T Baby Goatface. Bryson is greater than Weekend. I don't know if I can fully agree with you.
Yeah,
I don't
he might be better. I'll say this. I'll say this. He is definitely a better singer, in my opinion.
know who's a better singer.
Bryson.
Bryson's not a better singer than Weekend. You obviously have not heard Weekend. We're gonna
I'm
move on from that. I'm gonna act
actually
like you
a
didn't
Weeknd
say
fan.
it.
I'm so honest. I'm a Weeknd fan.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
act
think
like
that?
you didn't say it. I'm gonna act like you didn't say it.
Don't do
Anybody else in this chat
that.
or anybody else that's watching the playback,
Don't do
go in
that.
the comments and tell Tim at him too. Weekend is Bryson's not touching him vocally. I'm sorry. That doesn't mean that Bryson just poop. No, it's just he's not the Weekend. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. Come on.
You tripping?
But
You tripping?
I think Bryson does.
Bryson, you tripping?
Okay, think of it this way.
I'm gonna leave
Think
it
of
at
it.
that.
Think of it this way. Think of it this way. Don Tolliver, right? My
Mhm.
favorite artist. I can't sit here and tell you that Don Tolliver can sing like a Usher, Chris Brown esque, right?
But no, because we had an argument about this. You told me to name 5 artists who
I
could hold
told you
a vocal like that though.
correct, but his
We
music is
put
better
Don,
than Weekend.
we put Don Tell.
Don Tolliver. Hold on, let me address this. His music is better than
I
Weekend.
don't think his music's
It's a
better.
little bit of a stretch too, and I'm only going to say that because people Weekend's discography was more consistent and it hit the masses more than Bryson's. I hear so much hate, and I'm not one of the people, and y'all not one of the people that give the
Wasn't his
hate.
debut album like literally a part of a movie?
Who's
The Weeknd.
uh debut? Well, his
Oh, or
because
what?
he's okay. So I didn't get on the Weekend on his debut album. I was in the mixtape days, so that is House of Balloons, I believe. All them albums or mixtapes esque. Like, let me make sure, but I think that's where I started listening to the Weekend. Um, yeah, House of Balloons. So that was 2011. Good gracious. Um, I don't know which one you're talking about, but either way, to answer Tay rebuttal, I don't think Bryson's music is better than Weekend's overall. I think Trap Soul. I think Trap Soul is better than. I think the Trap Soul album just by itself is better than Weekend's albums, but I don't think overall that Bryson makes more music because we hear so much hate about True to Self and Anniversary. But we don't hear hate about Weekend and all the albums that he's had, and he's had a lot more. Granted, maybe 6 or 7 more, not
Yeah,
counting the mixtapes. But I don't think his music is better overall. I think it can be that if he gives us another good album. But overall, I don't think people will agree with it. I don't agree
oh,
with it either.
like Weeknd got some hits. Don't get me wrong, but
And it's also hard to even compare. Not to say that we can't compare, but Weekend is in the pop bag more anyway.
yeah,
But I don't think his music is necessarily
like,
better. I don't know.
Bryson's,
I don't think
Bryson's
Bryson's music is
album,
better.
Bryson's album was actually solid in my opinion. To
Yeah.
start off, great, great vibe. The only thing I would say so far from what I heard, and this could just be because of what I heard so far,
Yeah.
it wasn't none that stood out in my opinion.
What on this album?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
like
Okay,
like
so hold on real
I
quick.
understand we're not trying to compare it to Trap Soul, but like if you want to like, let's be real. If he want to make another hit, it's going to have to not sound like it, but it's going to have to be up there with Trap Soul. If you
All
know
right,
what I'm saying.
so hold on. Let me say this, but let me get Wrestling Geek real quick. True to Self is a great album. People just keep comparing it to Trap Soul, and that's not fair. That is true. That is Bryson's number one downfall. When he dropped True to Self, it was actually a pretty decent album. But because he gave us Trap Soul, everyone pooped on it. And then he gave us Anniversary, and everyone pooped on it. Music is subjective, as you said. So in my opinion, Bryson is better, which is fine. That's not even like a huge letdown. I wouldn't
It's
be mad if someone says
something
Bryson
to
is
be
better than the
mad
Weeknd.
about. Like,
I wouldn't be mad about it because they're both great. In my
yeah,
eyes, they're both great. To answer your rebuttal, Tim, and then we're gonna dive into like the songs thing because we have more to cover. Uh, you got to listen to the rest of the album, buddy. Bryson definitely stood out. Um, he definitely stood out on the album to me. As we talked about, music is subjective, but it's always a good debate to hear other people's point of views. But to me,
I
definitely
like I
stood out.
said, it was off of what I heard so far, and
So
ain't nothing stood off. Ain't nothing stood out
I
in
got
the
you.
first, especially in the first. Like they were good songs, and I'm not saying they were bad songs,
Right,
but what I'm saying, Chris Brown is better than everybody. Okay,
that's true. Everyone that we just said, Chris Brown is better.
as we get that.
Chris Brown's better. But go ahead, continue.
As I was saying, but what I was saying is they were
Okay,
good.
here we
They were,
go. Facts, no opinion. Here we go. Good gracious. Future is dog crap. All right. Okay.
oh
No one
wow,
was even okay.
we're about to report you. How dare you?
All right, Tim. Just go ahead real quick before we dive into this.
Oh, not like I was saying, it just ain't nothing stood out in my
Okay.
opinion. The first few songs that I heard, like, don't
Right.
get me wrong, they were good songs.
All right.
But
So so
but
what
I
songs
would
do
put
you
maybe
do you have a
like,
list? Do you have a list of the songs you listen to, or you just know the
no,
names?
it was literally in order. I listened to all albums in order.
Okay, so you listen to 1 through 5, or you listen to 2 through 6 because the first song is not a real song; it's an intro. It's only 20 seconds.
Yeah. But
So let's start. Let's
don't get
start
me
with
wrong,
that.
this is what I liked about it. I liked how it flowed into each other.
Yeah, so this is why I
Like,
wanted to, this is why I wanted to talk about this, and I think we should do this for other music stuff because it's gonna really spark conversation. All right, don't even I done
okay,
on LeBron. Good for you, buddy. That must have been on 2K24. Sorry, I'm done. Okay, so the first song, which is not really a song, but it's the first song in the album, it's called HTTP. Now, the reason why this is called HTTP because of the album cover. This is by Centennial. This is Brysontiller being like a what do you call it? Like a robot, a computer. And so you can see all the stuff on his face. You can see the barcode. You can see all of that stuff going on. So that's why that is called HTTP. For I'm pretty sure that was kind of obvious, but I'm just kind of putting that out there. Now, when I first heard this intro, I'm like, wow, because Cody Rhodes is better than Batista. Okay. This must be random comments day, National Random Comments Day. But
Rey Mysterio,
um
greatest.
Batista, they goaded. They both goaded in my eyes.
No,
But
it's Randy Orton, then Rey Mysterio.
mm, uh, let me finish this and then continue to move on. HTTP. He's a computer. That's the whole concept of this album. The intro, it was like 20, 30 seconds. And it was just very cinematic, and that's what caught my eye because we never gotten that from Bryson off rip. No album we've gotten that. Not to say there wasn't any transitions or two songs in one. Not to say that, but the sound that I was hearing was very cinematic. Um, and it's not much to say about it. We're not gonna like say it was one of the best intros ever because it's 20, 30 seconds. But I just wanted to kind of give that out to the audience that didn't know that the whole concept of this album is him being a computer, pretty much.
That's actually okay. That's actually the vibe I was getting from it, like the storyline.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
Listen to the rest of it.
So I wish YouTube was different on their copyright stuff where we could play snippets of the song. It would make things a lot more
It will make it a lot.
interactive. Maybe down the line we'll figure out a way to do it, but for the sake of this, we cannot do that. But I would encourage everyone to listen to the album if you really like Bryson. I think if you're a huge Bryson fan, that you would really appreciate it.
Oh,
But
you're gonna love it.
track number 2 is called Attention, and I can't really say too much about it because it's like my thoughts and how it actually sounded may be different to other people. But what can I say about the track is that then immediately I heard it, it was amazing. It didn't take too much for me to get clinged on. Like it was amazing the minute I heard the track.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a Bryson fan like y'all are. So, and even for me, the one thing that made me enjoy this album, I didn't compare it to Trap Soul.
That's what I'm saying. And
I
we're gonna
didn't.
get to that at the end.
To be honest with you, I didn't compare it to any of his other albums. I just Bryson. And start over with Bryson.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
I feel
why
like he's that
I want to
type
make a
of
point to that. I want to make a point to that at the end because I completely agree with you.
I feel
But
like he's that type of artist you have to do that with.
yeah,
Like
I
for
mean,
example, T-Pain. I feel like you'll feel like he gets repetitive if you don't do that, but he actually puts out hits if you don't get annoyed by it, if that makes sense.
yeah, I get what you're saying because a lot of people had an issue with his auto tune coming up. So yeah, I get what you mean. So attention is a great intro song. Number one wasn't an intro; that was just like a prelude transitioning into the intro. Attention was a great intro song. It was something very refreshing, delightful. I haven't heard something like that from Bryson in a minute. It was very joyful. Trap soul was very mellowy. The frequency was more down. It was more heartbreak. It was more this. This album doesn't give you that vibe all the time. It's very more upbeat. It's a lot of different genres, implementations. It's like I said, it's more happy, which I'll dive into how some people were saying they didn't like that much because trap soul was not like that. It was very dark. It was very heartbreak. You know what I mean? Like if you could think about it, the sounds were dark.
Yeah,
But Attention was a great intro. You listen to Attention,
yeah.
so cool or what?
Like I said, off of memory, like I said, the first 5 songs were good. That's what I remember. The first 5 songs were smooth.
Okay,
Like,
all
they
right,
flowed into each other almost like a story.
got you. I think most of these songs do have a transition. I know some of them like stop and then the song will come in, but I think most of them do have like a transition into the new sound. Number three, Stay Gold, another solid hitter. A slower R&B song too, something I also haven't heard from Bryson too. And so I started picking up early. He has new production already. I can hear that off rip. I produce, so I can kind of hear that. He's working with new people. He's probably doing some of his own as well. 'Cause I know he has done that before. And I'm hearing, first of all, we got to acknowledge this just really quickly. Bryson's pen has always been amazing, regardless of what he puts out. How he writes songs and that process has always been great. Um,
Facts.
Number three, Stay Gold, another solid R&B slow intro. Stay Gold was already released before the album. Oh, okay. Wasn't it like a? But it wasn't a official release. It was like a leak, I think. Correct. Just go ahead and comment and let me know. I think that's what it is, but I think I heard about it, but I never heard it, so it was new to me. Um, yeah. But anyway, very refreshing. Another very refreshing track as well. Tim said he everything 1 through 5 was cool, so I'm going to keep it pushing.
Or
Persuasion.
Persuasion. I love Victoria's
Yes,
voice. I
yes,
love her voice.
yes.
It was
He found the perfect person. First of all, the play on words, and I can't say the words because it's a little explicit, but you know what
yeah,
I mean. If you heard the song, go listen to the song, then you will understand what I mean. The pen was phenomenal.
amazing.
Victoria did her thing. Bryson did his thing. That is a flawless song to
I'll
me.
give you this.
It's a
I'll give you
flawless
this.
song.
That's the closest song to in my opinion, of a hit that I've heard
Yes,
so far.
yes. That will be the song. Funny enough, that if radio, I know songs are still aired on the radio, but we don't listen to the radio.
I feel like they would definitely blast this
It was
replay.
a single he just ain't released other than YouTube. Okay, yeah. So it was a single he released it on YouTube, but theoretically, label wise, he didn't technically release it to the masses because you have to
But
know about it to know about it.
he did this album on his label though, right?
No, well, this album is he's still RCA Records, so which is Sony Music Entertainment. I don't know the speculations of his label. I mean, of the record deal, but that track 4 is when I knew I was in for a ride. Me and Roy listened to it together. When I heard that song, I said, "Okay, that's something I never heard from Bryson at all." What them two did on that song, I never heard it before.
Facts.
Number 5, Child. I'm gonna tweet this short and simple. That is probably top 5 best songs this man's ever made, and I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. Child was short and sweet. It was a play on words.
Yeah.
Um, it's just a very upbeat, happy song, and he talking about W. If you got 2 days for this prom, like we're done. If you, so, bro, Chow is and Roy would agree with me if he was here. That's probably top five. One of the best albums, best songs he's ever made. I know that might be blasphemy. I really do because someone could say that five of them is on Trap Soul alone. I personally think that's one of his top five in my book. Another flawless song, and we kind of got away from R&B now. Now we're into like I'm just gonna say hip hop for the sound. I'm not gonna say hip hop because he was
I would
rapping.
say
I'm
for
gonna
the
say hip hop for the sound.
more more because of the beat.
Yes, beat. Production was amazing. Trumpets, horns, synthesizers, everything was top tier on Child, and that's track five. Facts on Child. See, okay, there we go. We got one, bro. That is a beautiful song. I'm not lying to you. Child had me like, how did y'all compose this? That's how great it was to me in first listen. Peace interlude. We know Bryson is the king of interludes. He did not upset me on Peace Interlude. Now I don't think you heard this one because this is one, two, three, four, five. Well, you heard Peace Interlude. Then you said the first
I
five.
skipped it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was gonna skip all the interludes and go back to them.
Peace Interlude,
I
bro.
went to Rich Boy, and then that's when the music cut off for me. I didn't even finish that song,
So
but
Peace Interlude, his vocality on that song is top tier. He hit notes that I didn't necessarily think he couldn't. I just haven't heard. Unless someone can remind me, I haven't heard him vocal, and it was really good. It's an interlude, so it's very slow. It's very now that is the closest you would have gotten to a trap soul esque piece interlude. So people that haven't listened already, if you want to hear something that's trap o esque, track number six, piece interlude. There you go. That's the closest he got to trap soul in this album. Everything else is nothing remotely close. Um, Rich Boy was the throw some D's on it sample. I'm bad with names sometimes, so them people that made that them. Uh, very solid song. Now we're more in the hip hop bag. So we just went from another hip hop upbeat song to a slower tempo back up. Um, Random Access Memory. So this song is important, and this also kind of marked almost halfway of the album because the bonus track we're not really counting because it's bonus. Um, so remember I said that he's a computer, right? So this resonated with me because I'm in cybersecurity. I have a bachelor's in computer science. RAM, also known as random access memory, is computer stuff basically. And throughout this whole song, he pretty much talks about how he has so many memories filled of this so and so person, and things have changed, things have come and gone. And he uses a lot of words that are computer related that can also mean something with our regular language, which is why it made sense because he is a computer this whole time. If we look at the album cover, he is a computer. Um, that's like a Jersey beat though. So I don't know how you feel about Jersey beats, but that's like a Jersey beat. But it's
mhm.
slow. It's slower though. It's slower. I think he has a sample. The feature on it, I think, was a sample there on the chorus and the bridge, and then they slow it down a little bit. Clara, I'm waiting for it to load. Clara Lasan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but if I'm not, sorry. But yeah, uh, another solid track. I would say that it's one of the weaker ones from the ones in front of it. In front of it, it's one of the weaker ones. Uh, Track number nine. Actually, am I missing something? Oh no, this is all of them. Oh, that was track number eight. Okay, track number nine. No, thank you. Another pretty good song. I'm not gonna lie. I will say that I think the top half of the album had stronger songs. That doesn't mean that I think the bottom half had weaker ones. I just think those were stronger.
But so did you think like, let's say the I guess the quality of the songs dropped a little bit?
I would say it was more safe. It was relaxed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's not
Yeah.
okay.
Production wasn't so like out of this world. I think we came back to earth a little bit. We was in space. At least I
Mm.
was. Now we came back a little bit. But it's still a solid track. I'm not gonna lie to you. I still listen to it. I'll dive into what I actually listen to mostly, but yeah, still solid track. Find My Way, another solid track. Find My Way is, if I'm not mistaken, it's the song that has no beats on it. It's just straight acoustic. And that's the Chris Brown bag. No one does that better than Chris Brown. So when I heard that song, I immediately knew that yeah, there had to be some Chris Brown influence, which is fine. Which is fine. I still think he made his own in his own way. Uh, that's a beautiful song. That's probably one of my favorite songs on here. Find My Way, number 10. That's a beautiful song. It does tease you like you think a beat's gonna come in, but it's a good song. I will not lie to you. It's a good song. Prize is also a good song. So another thing I want to dive into, we're 11 tracks in, and most of the subject matter is how happy he is with so and so person. There's some songs where he wish he could have did more. There's some songs where he has so many memories filled to this person. He wished that he didn't use that much memory and that much space and storage on this person. So we're not in trap soul era, but we get a little taste of it. But most of it is like happy Bryson, pretty much. Um, Waterfalls is another slow, very awkward song. I don't think you would like it. I don't think a lot of people will like it because of how awkward it is, but it is a very creative song. I don't think he's ever done something like this. I don't think a lot of people has ever done something like this. Whatever, everything that he did on it, very not Bryson. That's one of the one songs. This one and the next one we're going to get into it are the songs that I don't think I would have ever imagined Bryson making until I heard this.
Mm.
So I
I'm gonna listen
appreciate it.
to it then. Imma listen to it then.
Yeah, I don't you let me know if you like 12 and 13 to be specific because I think those are going to be the most not the most disliked because I'm going to get into that. There is two songs on here that I know are completely misses, especially in our culture, but I'm going to get to that at the end. But Waterfalls and Eon Lust, both crazy tracks, both are very weird, unorthodox. I think a lot of people did not like it, but I think there's some people that will, but not a favorite. I don't think it would be anybody's favorites on this album just because of how weird it is and who it's coming from. Now, if it was coming from someone else that kind of has that bag, it may be like when we think of Tyler the Creator, he does that all the time. Not to say the R&B bag, but he does the weird, unorthodox sound. We would, when we hear Tyler do it, we would think differently. But when Bryson did it, it will kind of surprise you if you haven't heard those songs. So check those out.
Mm.
Uh, Calypso was the single that came out already. I didn't hear it. The only single I heard from this was Outside, which I really wasn't technically counting because that came out like a year or some change ago. If anyone wants to correct me on that date, go ahead and please put that in the comments. 'Cause I'm really not sure. I think it's 2022. I don't know. I could be wrong. And Whatever She Wants. That's the only one I heard was Whatever She Wants. Calypso I did not hear, or in Outside I heard a while ago. Calypso ended up being one of my favorite joints on here. It was an Islander type of vibe, nice little storyline. He talked about he used to know this girl and then he saw her at the club and they remember why they fell in love. Like for real.
Mm.
That's really the premise of that song. And it's tough. Probably top five right now, at least for me. Top five on the album. Calypso. Uh Outside, I wasn't actually a fan of it when I first heard it. Because I remember hearing it back then. I just didn't like the sample. I think it was the Ying Yang twins. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was them. The I can't say it.
It was
I'll,
kinda a vibe,
it was the
like Yin Yang Twins?
it's the how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear. That
Yeah, Yin
that
Yang
beat.
Twins.
Yeah, that beat. I'm trying to think of the song.
No, I'm saying, was it kinda like their vibe?
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah.
was on that?
I mean, it was his R&B bag, but the whole beat was that, and that's why I didn't like it because I could appreciate people like sampling, but if it's a sample I wasn't completely engaged with when it came out, I'm already not going to process it right.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a huge fan of that song. That song
Well,
was super popular, but I
well,
wasn't like crazy over that Yin Yang song.
that means a lot of people might actually like it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would probably do like Outside.
Mm.
Personally, not me. I don't listen to that. Uh, Undertow. I think yes. Undertow is the country ballad, and what I mean by that is country. That's the vibe it gives. It's no beat on it, and it's just a lot of country elements. And he did something very different, and this is why I say that I keep giving going back to Chris Brown, not to not give Bryson his flowers, but to say that Chris Brown has done these things, and when I'm hearing it from other people, I can see where they get that light from, like, oh, this would be cool if I maybe dive into this or dive into that. And that's why I think that I truly think that he got some of this from Chris Brown. which is fine because he's the GOAT in my eyes. He's the GOAT. But Undertow is not a playlist. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I haven't listened to it since. I'm gonna be real. That was one of the ones where I feel like it's just for a specific demographic. It just wasn't for me. It's not a bad song. It's not trash. It's just not for me.
I listened to it.
Assume the Position is also one of those. So he tried to. The reason why I know that he's doing things differently is because Bryson never tries to appease every demographic. He never ever tried to do that. This is the only time he did. Because Assume the Position is pop. When I mean pop, I mean pop. Pop. And not a terrible. It's not a great take.
Not a
It's
hit.
not. It's
Not a
not a
hit.
it's not a great take. But will it be it? It's not a hit either. Nah, it's not. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a hit. I'm not mad at him trying to step out the box, but it's okay. I'm not gonna lie. It's all right.
We could try again.
Whatever She Wants was the bonus, but I know I sped through this a little bit, but like I said, take your time on it. If you're not in the stream, you can play it back, you can watch it. Whatever She Wants that already came out. I think most people heard it. I don't know if you heard it, Tim. Have you heard Whatever She Wants? Whatever She Wants is a hip hop song. It's pretty much talking about his girl spoiled, he get her whatever she want, yada yada yada. Yeah, it's a cool little. It's a single track. It's one of them songs where oh yeah, this is the single. Once you hear the rest of the album. So I just went through 19 tracks. I know that was a little quick. 10 out of 10 album.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 album. I'm not gonna
Even
lie.
with 2 songs you don't like?
Because this is the thing. I only minus it for me personally. This is my scale. I only minus it if I really think that it's trash. I don't think those songs are trash. I just don't think they're mine. They're my type of style. That's the only thing. I don't think they're trash. Um, I don't think they're trash. The only song that I really truly didn't like for real is Outside. And Outside's not even a bad song. It's just because of the sample. Um, 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie to you. 10 out of 10 album.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't listened to enough songs to grade it. So
I know, but I'm just telling you, you may not even give it a 10 out of 10, which is fine. But it's a 10 out of 10 album to me. Still, after what? A few days? Yeah, still.
all right, bet.
So next time, when we do a music video, we'll try to have, us, of course, and then our guests go through as much songs as they can so we can actually talk about individual tracks. I think it would be nice to dive into how people feel about each individual track and overall, yes, more engaging. So we're gonna do a smooth transition. That is Brysontiller, self-titled Brysontiller. 10 out of 10 in my book. Y'all let me know in the comments. But now we're going to talk about Might Delete Later, which should have been deleted the day it came out. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not even a J. Cole hater, but
You're a J. Cole fan.
so this
He's
is the problem.
better than Kendrick. Yes, I'm a Kendrick fan.
So this is the problem. I'm gonna let you tee off, but I'm gonna say this real quick because I don't really want to waste too much time. I'm not even a J. Cole hater. I really like J. Cole. J. Cole, K. Dot, Drake, they my top three. Not like lyrically penned. I would say J. Cole and Kendrick, not really Drake. But for our modern generation, yeah. The problem with J. Cole is not his pen. He's immaculate. He's a great writer. He's a great rapper. It's his music. It was not engaging enough for me. It was not engaging enough for me to where like I can remember. Oh yeah, I really really like this song. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you like J. Cole, click off, but actually stay on because you need to hear this. Because sometimes the truth hurts. I only
Like,
got 3 songs on my playlist from
let's
that
be
album.
honest with ourselves. I'm not a J. Cole hater. Yes, I do think Kendrick's better, but I also think it's more of a 1A, 1B. Until I ain't gonna lie to you, until this.
Yeah. So
Cause like, don't get me wrong, metaphors, they hit.
I
It was
mean,
just
he's
it was
just
a
his
bland,
rapping ability is always there.
yeah, it was
It was
just a
bland. It was bland. And it wasn't his rapping. I think it was the
song.
production. It was the energy. It was the energy throughout the whole album. It was bland to
Oh,
me.
to be honest with you, no, because I like the first song. The second song,
Let
he
me go
dropped
to it.
that first, didn't he?
Yeah. That was he dropped it on
Because
YouTube.
we
It's
know what
supposed yeah.
we we know the name of that.
Yeah,
And to be
yeah.
honest with you, after that part, like you heard the first part. After that, I ain't gonna cap to you. That's when it started getting bland because it was like,
Crocodile Tears, he had dropped it. Yeah, it was like the little teaser. It's cool.
yeah,
it's probably one of the best songs on here, which is why he dropped it first. But nothing on here was completely trash. We are talking about Jermaine Cole, but it wasn't enough for me for it was
Wasn't
enough replay
of
value
course
enough for me.
it's not trash, but it was it was it
It
was
was
just
not engaging enough for me. It
it
really
was there.
wasn't.
It was there. It was just there.
Yeah, it wasn't engaging enough for me.
But
Um,
Pricey, I like that song. That was a
Pricey
great song. I like that.
Pricey was a average intro song. I've heard better. And I don't mean average in a disrespectful way. I mean as in this whole album didn't really have enough energy for me. It really didn't.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It really didn't.
That was the most energy on this song, on this
Nah.
album. In my
Uh
opinion,
the most energy, maybe.
I didn't
Okay,
say it's
so
the best song. It's not the best song, but
this is
best
what I
song.
want to do.
Okay.
This is what I want to do. I want us to I want us to talk about 7 minutes real more and not diving into the lyrics, but just mainly more into the diss. Because I'll keep it real with you guys. I only have 3 songs added to my playlist off this album. That's Hunting Wabbits. I'm a grown man saying wabbits instead of rabbits, but that song's tough. Hunting Wabbits is cool.
That's the best song on this album.
Fever is also cool. I really like Fever. It's more melodic tone that he got. I really like it. In stealth mode, it was really good too. That is the only
But
track
you
I
like
got on here.
pop?
Huh?
You like pop?
Pie? What? What are you
With
saying?
Absol and Daylit
Oh, you mean Daylight?
or Daylight?
Um so the songs that I have on my playlist, I really, really like. As in, I can listen to these songs if I put shuffle, and I wouldn't mind. The
If
other
it
songs don't. So that doesn't mean all the other songs on here are bad. That just means it wasn't enough for me to add to my playlist. Which also does say something though. This album was boring to me as an overall. The features were boring to me too.
you know
Overall.
what, I'm gonna be honest with you. He hyped this up entirely too much.
Well, he
For
didn't hype this up at all because no one knew that he was dropping
I,
it.
that's true, but when you drop the trailer to Crocodile Tears,
Well, yeah, because at first I thought Crocodile Tears was going to be on the actual fall off, but I didn't know this was coming, and I do think that he planned to do it because it's also marketing. Dreamville was around the corner, which it just passed.
yeah,
So, but what we want to really talk about is 7 Minute Drill, and this is what I will say because now we actually have the man himself apologizing. Let's dive on that first, I guess.
can I admit something? I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you. Where was the diss? I'm not being. I'm
So
just
the diss was so he had 2 different beats. His second beat was the conductor, which is he's an amazing producer. And the first beat I don't know who made, but basically he was saying that Kendrick's first tape was good.
Oh
His
yeah, that I'm gonna
he
be.
talked about his discography. He judged his discography.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it was
I'm a.
cool.
I ain't. What was the other one? I don't even. Yeah,
The
never
other
mind.
one was pretty much like keep talking or you gonna wake me up pretty much. It wasn't really like a lot of ish talking. It was just I mean, that's just an overall summary. He said more, but that second part of the verse was really like
How
I
you gonna
was
say something like this and then apologize?
because he's it's a warning. Look, because it's a warning fire. It's a
We're like,
ceasefire.
and he is embarrassing us.
All right, so this is what I'm chill, man. So, chill, man. so so this is what I want to say. I know everybody in there is calling him soft right now. I don't necessarily agree with him calling him soft. I don't think he's soft. I truly feel like J. Cole felt out of place recording that song, 7 Minute Drill. He really truly respects K. Dot, which he should. I think Drake should. I think all of them should,
I
regardless
mean,
of what they
it was
got
the
going on.
diss. It was the diss. We know, like, it's not like he went like malicious and crossed the line.
I
He just
don't think
started this like
that's one thing that I do want to harp on. Even though that I don't think it was soft of him, I also don't feel like he said anything that was super crazy to him
right,
to feel like he had to apologize like
right.
that. But
You
he
didn't go
apologized.
crazy. You didn't go crazy like that.
He apologized, and I'm behind him on that. If he really felt like he was that wasn't his spirit, we made him do that diss. J. Cole didn't want that
You
diss.
right.
So I understand it, but I don't agree with him being called soft, but at the end of the day, this is rap,
Oh, yeah,
and
he called
he
soft. So
waved he waved the he waved the white flag. He
I
did,
felt like
and
it
it
was
is what it is.
a necessary apology, my opinion.
I think that his spirit was more hurt than
That's
anything.
that's between him. I can't judge you for
Well,
that.
he wanted to
That's
voice it because he said in Dreamville that he felt like the outside is what made him do that diss. He didn't really want to do it.
mm.
And now he realized that he didn't need to appease everybody. He needs to do it for himself. And I
How about
appreciate that.
J.
I
Cole?
respect that.
How about this, J. Cole? We need you and Kendrick to make a real album. How about that? How about it?
Mm. Well, we still don't know. We
What I
probably wouldn't.
That's what I need.
We still don't know. We'll probably never know if Kendrick was actually serious because Kendrick has always been mysterious. Um, but they kind
He
of around a
wasn't.
little bit.
He
But
probably have to. What he did, he helped promote probably J. Cole album.
so who
And
won?
names.
Who
And
won the
he
diss? Who won the diss before J Cole apologized? Nobody. I'm gonna tell you why.
it was Kendrick.
Mm-mm. I'm gonna tell
His
you
diss was better than this. His diss was better than this.
his diss lyrically was not. We're not talking about Drake's. We're talking about when he just signaled J Cole. The only thing he really said about J Cole was first person shooter. That's really all he said. And him
Mm-hmm.
and Drake is a part of that. He didn't really pin. He didn't really pick away on Drake. That was, I mean,
First
Cole. That
person
was really Drake.
shooter
I
better
hope. I
come.
hope they come with three switches. That was the them niggas clicking up. That's what that was. Now, this is what I'm saying. Aside from the Drake part, he didn't really go crazy on Cole like that. Cole didn't really go crazy on Kendrick like
I
that.
ain't
So
gonna
that's
cut to
why I
you.
think they tied. The
Nah,
only
I ain't
thing
gonna lie to you. I thought he was gonna catch a stray. I
yeah,
thought he was.
the only thing that made Kendrick's diss better, and this is why I say production matters more than most people think, is because he had Metro Boomin. That is the only difference. Metro Boomin killed that whole beat. That is
Okay,
the
we
difference.
we can't downplay his flow and his lyrics.
I'm not downplaying anything. I'm telling you that aside from the Drake disses, if we're just talking about Cole versus Kendrick right now,
So you're
he
telling me
really didn't say
how
much on Cole.
I can understand the production part because Metro sold it. But you thinking so you're telling me if he came out with something like this on his own, it wouldn't sell
No, I'm not saying
much?
that at all. I'm telling
Oh,
you that Metro Boomin is the best producer of our era.
I mean, we all know that.
Okay, that beat was
But
way better than
no
7 minutes reels.
there's no reason to say that because if we could be honest, we could see Kendrick making a song like this. Let's be real.
Would you listen to Kendrick if the beat was trash? Just say yes or no, Tim.
Of course not.
Okay, that's what I'm
No.
trying to tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah, you're right.
I wouldn't listen to nobody if the beat was trash. That's what I'm trying to tell you. J. Cole's song wasn't trash. Kendrick
I
had Metro Boomin. It was just way better. That's all that
This is what
was.
I'm saying. We get that it was Metro's album, not just his Metro and Future,
Of
but
course.
it was his album. So of course he's gonna have Metro.
Of
What I
course.
am saying is you can't say that like we all know he's we everybody who's watching this more likely agree that he's the best producer.
Okay. So what are you saying?
Outside, I would say outside of Pharrell because he's been doing it so long, and
Well,
Kanye.
Pharrell's in a different bag. Kanye is probably the best comparison you can
Look,
get to that.
I would still have Pharrell as the best in my opinion. If we're
Well,
not trying to split it up, if we're saying overall,
I don't
my
know.
opinion,
That's a different conversation for a different day.
he could do any. You're right. I'm just saying it's
I'm
like,
not saying J. Cole did bad. I'm not saying Kendrick didn't kill it. He did. I'm saying the reason why that song is selling more because of Metro Boomin. That's what I'm saying. If that
but
beat was trash, we wouldn't be
I
hyping it up
completely
crazy.
agree. But I feel like Kendrick still have to do his part because it's helping their album. Because my opinion, like I said, I feel like Metro's and Future's album was mid. He's the only gas. That's the only gas on the album. My opinion.
Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap it up soon. Uh, but that's personally how I feel. I don't think Kendrick didn't do. I think Kendrick still went crazy. Yes, I do. But if we're talking about just J. Cole and Kendrick, he didn't really harp on him too much, which is why I say before J. Cole apologized, they were tied. Because it was really Metro's production that heightened that. That's just my opinion. Now, after he apologized, I mean, he already waved the white flag, so Kendrick won at this point. Unless there's more to say, Kendrick won that because he
You
ceased
think it was
fire.
a waving of the white flag because
He
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 apologized?
he said he respects him. He's off of that. He
Don't mean
yes,
the nigga can't. That does not mean they still can't go at each other in this manner. It's just he clearly set a boundary
that's
for
just,
himself.
that's exactly what that means. J. Cole is not dissing Kendrick anytime soon. That's exactly what that means. He waved the white flag, and that's perfectly okay. When a man waves the white flag, I respect him. Everyone's calling him soft. That's not how I feel about it. If he really felt like that wasn't his body, that's not his body. That's cool.
I don't think that's what him waving the white flag about.
That's what that was. He said, I respect him. Y'all like Kendrick, right? He said that. He said,
They
as do
were
I.
cool coming up in the game.
Okay, but
So
Kendrick rapping like a
of
dude.
course I can understand how he feel. But what I am saying is just because he apologized, in my opinion, doesn't mean he waved the white flag.
I'm saying right now he waved the white flag until we see otherwise.
I say he postponed it. It's
He
not
didn't
waving.
postpone anything. He said y'all love Kendrick, as do I.
I would
Come
say
on,
post
bro.
because, like I said, it would they could decide at any given moment to make an album together and
Yeah.
decide to make the album about them dissing each other. They could come
Yeah.
out with it at any given moment.
Yeah,
That's why
sounds
I'm
good.
saying that.
Sounds
It's
good.
not. It's still a possibility.
I'm not saying it's not a possibility. Anything is possible. I'm just telling you it sounds good.
Yeah.
It
So like
sounds good. Is it
that's
gonna
why
happen? We don't know. It sounds
that's
good.
why I say I need something more confirmative of him waving the white flag than this. It's not that.
I
It's not
think y'all let me know in the comments below. I think that was enough. I think we should all just agree that that was a white flag.
you restating that y'all was cool. We get Black Friday was
He
awesome.
he literally
Black Friday
said,
was awesome.
Tim, he
I need
literally
some,
said, I disrespected your discography when I know that you are one of them ones. Y'all love Kendrick, don't y'all? As do I. I have respect for these brothers. I grew up with this
it's a
brother and this
harmless
brother.
this.
It's not a
Yes.
harm. We
Well,
don't know it's a harmless diss. We
okay,
haven't heard
okay.
from Kendrick since. We
But
don't
it's
know if it's harmless.
all this other dissing he been doing he should feel the same way. Like if that's the case.
All in all, that's how I
He's
feel.
waving a white flag to everybody in the rap game he's ever dissed, is what you're saying.
No, because he didn't say that.
Specifically,
He
no,
didn't
it's
come up. He didn't
specifically
come up
no,
and make
no,
that a
this is
thing
what I'm
with
saying.
everybody else. That's what I'm saying.
This is what I'm saying. It's specifically for Kendrick, but indirectly for everybody else. Because you can't
No,
just what?
he
No.
only
That
directly talked
that
about
diss
two people,
went nowhere near as hard as when he dissed any other rapper.
which is why I'm saying that doesn't mean because he did that and he paid homage that he ceased fire with everybody. No, he didn't ever cease fire with everybody. He ceased fire with Kendrick. He didn't
Like
talk
I
about
said, it's not
Kanye and all these
a
other people.
fire. They probably reloading.
Man, no one's trying to
That's
see
how they
Cole. Nobody's trying to see
if we
that,
can
bro.
be real, I agree with you. They shot bullets, but I don't think they were aiming at each other. If you want to
You,
use that,
hey man, I think it was a white flag, and that's fine.
I feel like what it was.
Cool,
So what it was almost a stray that J. Cole called,
maybe.
and it was based off of how Kendrick felt. Like you said, he's unpredictable. It's
Which is why I'm trying to explain to you. We really don't know how Kendrick truly feels about it. If it was harmless or he actually feeling the type of way. Because people have been sleeping on Kendrick so much because those other two guys are more consistent, and one other guy
they're not
is at the
better.
top of the charts all the
But
time.
this is the
He
crazy
may
thing.
actually that may
He's
actually got
not
to his
better.
mental.
They're not. It's worldwide known they're not better.
No,
Okay,
that's
I'll
not
give you Cole.
true.
No, I'll give you Cole. But for a fact, he's better than Drake. Like
Number wise
if you
was the
think Drake
problem. Number wise was the
hits
problem, which
hits
is
don't
why he
mean
hold
you're a
on,
better
which is why he said Prince outlived Mike Jack. That's the only reason why you would say that.
that was
It's
but
the
hold on.
only because
No,
his numbers. That's the problem. No one should ever question Drake's pen to Kendrick's. That shouldn't even be a conversation. It is the numbers. It is the hierarchy. It is who's the goat of that, and it's Drake. We all know
why
that.
did you question his pen?
I said no one should. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
but I'm saying you're literally basing a person off who who is based off their penmanship
No,
to
I'm talking
somebody
about the
who's based off
accolades,
of hits. But you're
Tim.
talking about somebody who's based off of hits and comparing them to somebody who's based off their pen work.
Okay, I'm telling you about accolades. I'm not talking about pen. I'm just telling you no one on this earth would say that Drake is a better rapper than Kendrick. That is not a conversation. So now the conversation is who makes more hits. That's the conversation. But
I mean, that's Drake.
okay, but look,
That doesn't mean he's better.
let's let the viewers
You're right.
talk for this. Like I said, this is all subjective, but we appreciate y'all. This is episode 33, Big 33. 61 subscribers, get us to 100. Please, this is our personal Instagrams right here. Please subscribe, like, comment to TKA Podcast, like, subscribe, comment. I'm saying it out of order, but it's all good. To Wrestling Geek as well. He couldn't be here with us today, but he's here in spirit. He's been here in the chat. Y'all been seeing it. So please keep it giving us that love and support. Episode 33, and we appreciate the stream. We out here.